Welcome to the It Matters podcast. I'm your host, Walter Perez, and let's dive in as we help you grow your mindset and elevate your leadership. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the It Matters podcast. I'm Walter Perez, and I appreciate you being with me on another episode. Thanks a lot for joining me and for supporting me all the way through here. We've been talking about some great content and great things lately that I hope that you're feeling like you're vibing with all this and that this is helping you out. And if it is, can you please share this episode, this podcast, this content with somebody else? Can you comment it? Can you like it? Can you tell me what you think? Maybe even tell me what you want to hear in the future. I really want to add value to you, and that would mean a lot to me. And I wanted to bring you another episode today, and I wanted to talk to you about this idea of whiteboard sessions. Now, let me say this: whiteboard sessions for me have been amazingly impactful. I've been part of them on different levels. I do them for my own business. I've done them for different nonprofits that I've worked with or engage in, and just the ability to sit down and do whiteboard sessions have the power to set you on this trajectory that will impact your life or impact the company that you're working with, your projects, your products. You're going to set yourself up to win in an amazing way. Now, there's some of you that are listening to this and you're going, what are whiteboard sessions? Now, if you've never done them before, and if you have, maybe it's time to reassess and do them again if it's been a little while. But this is what whiteboard sessions, and essentially it's a very simple concept. It's you grab your team, you grab your key people, your key leaders, and you grab a whiteboard, white markers, and an eraser, and you put some time aside to have some vision time of where you want to go. What are you trying to do with your company? What are you trying to do with these products? The project that you're about to take on, where do you want to go with it? And you want to be able to strategize. You want to be able to have some vision and dreams of where you want to go. And you want to really dissect it and be able to have some clarity. Clarity is going to come when you do these type of sessions. Now, let me warn you. Every whiteboard session that I've been part of has not been quick. It hasn't been 30 minutes. In fact, they're normally a number of hours. And I think that's great and it's a good idea because it really allows you to focus and allows you to put some intense, intentional focus into what you want to accomplish. And like I said, I have seen it. I have done quite a few in my time, and I'm a huge advocate. I am a huge fan of these because what I have seen come out of them, it could even set you up for years of success if you do them properly and if you do them well. And so what's going to be important here is that you understand that you have the right key people in the room, that you've set the right amount of time, and that you have the right perspective in how you're going to accomplish these. Now, let me say this. The kind of people in the room are important because you want people in there that you want them to buy into the grander vision. You want them to have some say. You want them to have some input and vision on where you are heading down the future. You want to be able to actually have some people as well that are going to help you execute what you want to accomplish. So there's a nice balance there, but it's super important to know how to manage this tension. And this is what I mean. When you're going to enter a whiteboard session, you want to start with the wow, not the how. The how will come, but the wow is super important. What do I mean by the wow? The wow is that you're going to dream. If I gave you a load of cash, if I gave you $1 million, if I gave you $1 billion, whatever the amount is, what could you do right now with your organization? What could you do with this product, with this time? What could you do with all this if money was no issue? And so you need to have big dreams and big vision. And I think this is super important. And some people find it hard. Some people find it hard because we have individuals in the room that want to be realistic. And yes, there's going to be a time for that. But when you allow yourself to dream, when you allow yourself to have big vision, it is incredible what you can do as a team, what you can invent, what you can come up with, what you can strategize, what you can do long term, because you allow yourself to want to impact. You allow yourself to say, okay, why are we doing all this? So having vision is super important, and you need to allocate a certain amount of time in this period to just have vision. And so you make a rule. The next little while, we're going to talk about things that are going to wow us, and we're not going to talk about how we're going to do them. Some of you are going to get tempted to say, hey, but how are we going to do that? We don't have the budget. How are we going to do that? We don't have the building. We don't have the resources. We're not going to go there yet, because we just want to dream, and we want to give people the opportunities to express and to share, to have input. We want to create a team environment through dreaming. And so I would say have a rule. If you're like, I learned this from a long time ago, and I think it was Craig Rochelle that said this, a great leader out there. And he said, when people start asking how during the wow time, we kick them out of the room. They get time out. And maybe you don't need to do that, but I think that's fun, and I think it's something important to really stress into your meeting, because this is important to just dream right now and not start picking at it, nitpicking at it about the details on what this could look like. And we don't want any naysayers. We don't want no's. We just want wows. When you start doing that, you grab this whiteboard. I suggest you grab a big whiteboard, and you just and grab different colors of pens, markers, and you start color coding, and you start kind of designing your whiteboard and erasing things and writing things all over. Get creative. It's artistic. Allow yourself to put your thoughts on the whiteboard. It's super important to take it off your mind and putting it on there so you can visually see it. When you start writing things down, you start thinking about, ooh, what about if we did this? What about if one day we would be able to do this and that? And you start bringing these things into visualization and get excited. We need excitement when we're working on our businesses. We need excitement when we're trying to focus on a product that we want to bring to life and add value to people. We need to talk about the why. Why are we doing this? What are we going to be able to do with this? And then you can start initiating the strategy part of that. But actually, there's one step before that that I would encourage you to do. Once you have all this, now you can start saying, okay, what makes sense in the season that we're in? So there's a few things that are going to happen in this period here. Once you're done the wow part, is you're going to put some ideas on there that are going to be great. And people are going to go, yep, we need to pursue this. We need to strategize, and we need to figure out how to make this happen, because this is a great idea. Another thing that's going to happen is some people are going to say, no way, that doesn't fit in with what we're trying to do, with where we're wanting to go. This idea is just not right for us. And you're going to X-day it. You're going to take it off the board. And that's okay. There's just some ideas that are going to be a little bit too crazy. There's some ideas that you're not ready for in this time, and it's okay to say no and take them off. But what's also going to happen is there's going to be ideas that are going to be put there, and the no ideas are going to be converted into new ideas, because somebody's going to say, hey, that idea doesn't work, but if we did this instead, I think that would work. So the no ideas are actually going to ignite new ideas in that process. And then there's also going to be ideas that are just going to be tweaked. They're going to be pivoted a little bit and say, hey, this idea is actually good, but if we make it like this, it's going to work out even better. And so what you see what's happening here, you now are getting your team to think. Now you're giving the people the opportunity to be creative and to visualize and see this on this whiteboard, and now actually see it come to life. And now that we get into that step of the how, we've done the wow, we've done the transition phase, and now we're talking about how can we do this. Now you start actually saying, okay, these ideas are actually jiving with us. This is actually what we want to do. This is who we want to become. This is how we want to be represented in the future. So how do we get that done? Now there's a few different ways that you can do that. You gotta put time, you gotta put dates, you gotta reverse engineer. You gotta see yourself, okay, where do you want to see yourself in a year, 2 5 years, and then you got to reverse engineer that and say, okay, what does that look like if we start today? What do we need to do today to then end up over there at some point? See, this is the important part about the how. It's what I think it's a strategizing part. The strategy part is super important because what is there a quote out there that says a dream without a goal is just wishful thinking? I think something like that. Well, basically, the wow is the dream and the vision. Now, when you're going into the strategy how part, now you're setting goals, and now you're actually going to put them into action, and you don't just want to be wishful thinking. You don't want to just always be in the cloud. You actually want to put it into action. And so when we start doing this next step of strategizing, we're now involving those other people that maybe had a little bit troubles of seeing the big dream. Now they can come and use their strengths and saying, okay, now that we've landed on something, this is how we can actually execute that. This is what kind of money we're going to need, what kind of budget we're going to need. This is what kind of people we're going to need on our team. This is how we're going to actually execute it. In this part, you're talking about your core values. You're talking about your mission. You've already talked a little bit about your vision, but this is where you bring a little bit more clarity. This is where you write maybe new vision statements, new mission statements. This is where you do core values and strategic planning. When you start executing that, you come out of a day that was not only inspiring, but was effective. And now you feel like, okay, now we have a roadmap to know where we need to go. Now our GPS knows how to tell us how to get there because we are unified. We have trusted each other. We have clarity. Can these times be rough sometimes? Definitely. Can there be some tension in the room? Of course, but we have to learn how to lead through that. And we have to get through that. And we have to listen to everybody's opinions, especially in the wow stage. Listen to all the ideas. Listen to all the ideas. There's no such thing as dumb ideas in that room. Allow people to speak up, allow people to get creative. And then when you go into that transition phase of going, okay, what stays, what doesn't stay before we get into the how part, then nobody needs to get offended. We just go, okay, now we need to be unified on where we actually see the vision going and what we want the vision to be. And when you dissect that a bit, and then you go into the strategy part of the how, now you're unified and come out feeling like a team and going, okay, now we know where we want to go, we know what we want to do, and we know how that's going to happen. Now let's go win, let's go impact, let's go do what we do best. And it's a beautiful thing. I think you should make a habit of this. Do you need to do them every year? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I think sometimes whiteboard sessions allow you to continue to have clarity. Make sure you have unity. You need to have a team behind this. Whiteboard sessions can be done with a group of 10 people. It can be done with 2 people. If you're a solo entrepreneur at the moment and you run your own business and you don't have a team that you can consult with, then do them by yourself. Don't make excuses that because you don't have a team with you that you can't do a whiteboard session. Do it anyway and allow yourself to then put your thoughts and your ideas on this whiteboard and allow to visualize it. And by the way, when you put them on this whiteboard, take a picture along the way. Take pictures so that you can remember these sessions and these times. So then when things get erased, you don't forget them. When you take them, and then take them from the whiteboard and put them onto a document, put them into your computer, whatever it is. So then you have it before you, and you can actually look at it consistently and strategize from there. Whiteboard sessions have the ability to impact your organization in a way that you can't even imagine. As a leader, I want to encourage you to make that a habit. Figure out when it's appropriate. Don't let it be too long. I think it's okay to do them manually. You might have to do them more often, but um, or if you want to wait a little longer, but do them. Just stop making excuses and allow yourselves to unify your team. Whiteboard sessions will become your friends when you know how to lead them and learn how to walk through that tension of maybe sometimes difficult individuals on your team, or even the individuals that just say yes to everything. Just figure out a way how to have some teamwork in that and allow yourself to win coming out of those sessions. And I'm sure you're going to win. And I'm telling you that from experience. I've done enough of them to know that they're impactful. And I've been part of some amazing whiteboard sessions that have set organizations to succeed in a mighty way. And I will definitely tell you that you must do them and you need to put them into action. I hope this helps you out. I hope that this is another tool in your tool belt that's going to help you lead better, that's going to make your organization better. And remember, this whole idea, what we're talking about is that leadership matters, strategy matters, making goals and having dreams and vision matter. We've talked about a lot of that on previous episodes. This is just another way to make sure now we're putting it into action and giving you a pointer here on what you can do to now actually move forward. So make that happen, do it up, and let me know what you think. Because I strongly believe as we move forward, we're here to impact and we're trying to add value. Because as you get better, remember, it's a win-win when the leader leads well. And you're going to be excited to continue on your journey that you're on, and you're going to win. So I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.